Hello everybody, it's Larry here with Sod Busters Metal Detecting. Today's video, I want to share some tips of how you can get more metal detecting permissions in 2020. We're going to go over some tools and some methods to not only locate new properties, but also how to find the property owner, who owns the property, so you have somebody to talk to get that permission. All right, you guys. If you wouldn't mind, hit that subscribe button and also hit that bell icon so you can get notifications every time I upload a new video. Grab yourself a cup of coffee and hang out to the end because I've got some real gold nuggets for you here that's going to make your life a lot easier when it comes time to finding more properties. All right, let's get started. Okay, you guys, the first thing I would like to go over is locating properties that you may be able to metal detect. All right, so we're just going to go over a few methods here. Some of them I personally use and some of them I don't really use because they're just not as convenient as other methods. But we're going to go over a few methods here, okay? Okay, the first method I want to discuss here is your local people, okay? Local residents that have been there for their entire life. If you can find somebody that's in the older generation that have lived there their entire life, they're going to have some valuable information for you. Not only of places that maybe they used to go picnic, places they used to go swimming, they're going to have stories of things that they did or events that took place that you may not be able to find out about in other methods. So if you can locate the people that have been there for a very long time, for the last 60, 70, 80 years, you're going to find some valuable information and be able to locate some new properties to metal detect. And that's probably my number one most valuable resource to locating new properties. Okay, the second method I want to discuss is just driving down the road. Okay, this is probably the most convenient thing that you can do to locate new properties. I personally like to metal detect old homesteads and old farms and old town sites. And these are places that maybe not necessarily the town sites, but the old homesteads, old churches, old schools. These are great places to go find treasure. And as you're driving down the road, you can jot down in a little notebook, carry a notebook with you as you're driving down the road, and you can locate these places, write down where you saw the place, and when you get back home, you can start doing your research and finding out where you can obtain the permission to go metal detect these. So that's probably the most convenient way of locating new properties to metal detect. What I will say about locating properties that way is it's not necessarily off the beaten path. So be prepared that even though this is new to you, many people have driven by these locations, and so they may have already been metal detected, which doesn't necessarily mean there's no treasure there, because I firmly believe that a property is never hunted out. It just depends on how thorough you are with your metal detector. So anyway, that is the second method and probably the most convenient way of locating new properties to metal detect. All right, the third method that I want to discuss here is Google Earth. Okay, Google Earth is a very valuable place online that you can research different areas and locate old foundations, old homesteads that you can see in a satellite view, topographical, and give you an idea of different places that you otherwise wouldn't be able to see. But it's also a valuable tool in where you have already located a property, you can get on Google Earth and get a good view of that property. And that way, when you go, or if you have permission already, then you have a better idea of where you want to start on that property. Maybe you can locate a foundation on the property that you might not have found if you hadn't researched on Google Earth. So that's one of the methods that'll be very valuable to you. Okay, you guys, here I'm on Google Earth. Here I can research properties, you know, look for areas. Now this is a property here that I have been interested in. I can see that there was, you know, you can look at the lines here and stuff. You can zoom in and see that, you know, there was probably a, I don't know, this was possibly a foundation here at one point. This is an old piece of property. It's right along the road. There is an old house on there that's abandoned now. It's not in use anymore. I can scroll along. You know, you can just take a look at everything. I can zoom out, you know, and I can see that, okay, there's an old road that is on the property here. I'm able to do a lot of research. Now, the one thing that I will say, although I wasn't able to gain permission here, I will be able to go across the road here. Now, this is not going to be their property right here because, and this is something I'm going to show you later on, is something you can do to find out who owns. Let's say I don't know who owns this piece of property right here, but I'm going to show you exactly how to find out and what tool you can use to do that. But this is going to be an opportunity. Although I couldn't get permission here, over the years I am absolutely positive that whoever homesteaded this piece of property made their way to the river here. So that's going to give me an opportunity to go and metal detect along the river here and possibly find what they lost. So, or even hidden. So this is a valuable resource. And okay, another wintertime method that I use. I like to do this in the wintertime because where I live here in Idaho, a lot of times we've got frozen ground in the winter, and sometimes there's a good amount of snow that just doesn't provide you with a great opportunity to metal detect that time of year. So that's when I prefer to do my research. But your local library is going to have books on the area that you live in that is going to provide you with different leads, different locations, different events that will give you opportunities to research and get more permissions to find, you know, those places to detect. So make use of your local library, and I guarantee you that's going to provide you with some great areas and put you onto some more coins and jewelry. All right. So but like I say, I prefer to do that in the wintertime when I'm not metal detecting. If you want to do more research than you do metal detecting, that's how you're going to find more treasure. And so, but make use of it in a smart way, okay? If you can't go metal detecting, that's the time you should be doing your research. And so anyhow, that's a valuable nugget for you right there. And then that way during the good months, you can be metal detecting and pulling up those silver and gold coins, all right? Okay, another resource that you can use are old maps. And old maps you can obtain sometimes at your county courthouse. Sometimes you can find them in your local library, and you can find some old maps online as well. The problem with getting old maps online is a lot of time you're going to have to purchase those maps. And so that's where, you know, going to your local library or your courthouse, if it's convenient for you to go to your courthouse, a lot of times you can pull up old plot maps or old railroad maps. And those are extremely valuable resources right there that you can compare with your modern day map and find out what was there then that's not there today. So that's something that, again, I would do this in the winter time or when you're laid up. Now, right now, I've kind of, as you can see, I've got this little issue going on here with my arm. I ended up pulling the bicep tendon from the bone. And so last week I ended up having to go in and have them repair that bicep tendon. So it's a great time for me to be doing some research, and not to mention we're still in the late winter here. So this is just a perfect time to be doing research, and hopefully here real soon I'll be out there and making use of the research that I've done and metal detecting some new ground, hopefully, okay? So those are some of the resources. Now there's some that I haven't really used, and that's like going to your local museum. Now those are gonna have some valuable resources to locate new properties to metal detect, but there again, I haven't really been to a museum in probably about 7 years. And so it's just not really convenient for me to be going and paying to go into a museum to get research, where I can get this research more convenient in other ways. Your Chamber of Commerce, that is a good place that you can get some valuable information. Or your historical society in your local area. These are great places to go get some information. And so anyway, those are just a few of the methods that you can use to locate these properties. And so next, this is going to be some good stuff, okay? We're going to go over how to locate the property owner of these places that you want to metal detect. You're going to love this, okay? And this is something that I guarantee you, this is a tool that you don't want to be without. All right, if you're a metal detectorist or if you're a hunter, anything that you do outdoors, if you are trying to obtain permissions on private properties, this is something you don't want to be without. All right? All right, so you've done a little bit of research, you've located some properties that you desire to metal detect, but a lot of times they are vacant properties and maybe there's nothing in the area. Perhaps it's out in the desert of Nevada, okay, and there's nothing around, just an old abandoned homestead somewhere. So how do you locate the landowner? Well, again, you can go to the county wherever you have located that property, and you can pull up the old plot maps and find out who owns the property. And a lot of times, if you go to your county, they'll help you if you don't understand. You know, they'll tell you where to look to locate different properties, and a lot of times they will assist you and help you find out who the owner is of that property. But the most valuable tool, and this is something that I use personally, is an online app. And like I say, this is something you don't want to be without. It's called OnX Hunt. Okay? Now, OnX Hunt is not only a topographical satellite view digital map that you can scroll around and look at different properties, but it's also something that's going to give you the name of the person who owns that property, and it's going to show you the borders of that property. So like I say, this is extremely valuable. This is probably one of the most powerful resources you can use in order to locate who owns a property that you want to metal detect. Now, it's not going to give you their phone number or anything like that, but that's okay. You can do your research. The number one thing is you've got a name. Once you have a name of who owns that property, then you can use that resource to further acquire more information. Perhaps the yellow pages online. This is my number one tool, okay? It's just going to make your life a lot easier. So I strongly suggest that you get the app OnX Hunt. And what I'll do is I'm going to put a link down in the description of this video, and that way you can go onto that link right there and get this app. But like I say, whether you're a metal detectorist or a hunter, fisherman, or somebody that just, who knows, anything outdoors that requires using somebody else's private property, this is not an app you want to be without. All right, so I suggest that you go down into the description of this video and acquire that app right there. Anyhow, that is probably the top nugget right there. And let me know, you guys, down in the comments. Let me know if you've used this app before, or if you're going to acquire this app, because I think you're going to love it. I know you will. This is just extremely valuable. Okay, so here's a look at OnX Hunt. All right, so I can take this and pinch it down. It's going to have the borders and everything to show you who owns what here. All right, I've kind of got it. Well, I'll just turn it up here. So this is how you're going to view when you're out there in the field and you want to know who owns what property. You're going to be able to go to OnX Hunt and locate who owns that property. All right, now this will help a lot too, because if you're out there and you say, okay, well, I want to metal detect that property, and there is a resident on the property, you'll know who that is. Okay, so, but you can go on there. It's gonna, let's say this piece of property right here, let's just say that there's an old homestead there or something, and you'll be able to find out the name, research who owns it, and be able to try to obtain the permission from there. Very valuable resource, you guys. This is, you're not going to want to do without this. It's giving you the topographical map. It's giving you the borders of the property. It's giving you the landowner's name, and just extremely valuable. So I carry this with me. If there's signal, you're carrying your phone with you out there, you'll be able to locate these different landowners, and then this way you're not going to go over boundaries either. Okay, I will say that the boundaries aren't always accurate. These let's say this property right here, you see the little orange line there. Don't depend on that to be completely accurate. If you do get permission to metal detect, you're going to want to talk to the landowner and find out where the property lines are, so you're not overstepping bounds. All right, but like I say, I highly recommend this. Go down to the description there and get this OnX Hunt, because this is going to help you out a lot. Okay, you guys, I really hope that this video was valuable to you, and I hope that this is going to give you a chance to get out there and find some new properties. If you're just starting out, you guys, this is the way to go about it. Okay, you've got a lot of different methods, you've got a lot of different resources that you can go out and just grab a hold of them. And you know, if this was valuable to you, leave a comment down down below here. Just drop a comment down there and let me know. All right, if there was something that you didn't understand, if there was something that you need more information on, feel free to reach out to me. Drop a comment down there and I will reply. Anyway, get out there, find some treasure, and let me know, you guys. I want to see you guys be successful, okay? We all want to get out there and find the good stuff, and you can do it. And you have resources right there where you live. You don't have to travel 100 miles or to a different state or anything else. You've got resources right in the area that you live to go out there and find some great treasure, okay? All right, I wish you the very best. And again, please subscribe, like, share, and hit that notification bell. And we'll just keep providing some more content here and share some of my metal detecting adventures with you. All right, we'll see you on the next treasure hunt. All right, take care, you guys.